Well, we're headed to another horrible day in the market as China has announced that they've raised their tariffs against the United States to 84% to compete with the U.S. tariffs on their goods. We are about to get crushed by high prices. I don't know if everybody fully understands this because it takes a little while for it to come into effect, but prices are about to skyrocket. Do you know how much stuff we import from China and how much we send to China? And now all of a sudden we're not going to be sending all that stuff to China because it's going to cost 84% more than from any other country. Donald Trump just basically gave a double middle finger salute to farmers who send billions of dollars of products to China, in which that number is about to get a whole lot smaller. Like, what are we doing, folks? You people who support Donald Trump, do you see what's happening? Do you want this to happen? You guys actually have the power to stop it, because if you start turning on him, he will back down. He is hurting you. And in fact, he's hurting more red state Republicans than blue states because of those farms. Why are you continuing to back this? He is driving us straight into the ground because he doesn't understand what tariffs work, and he just wants to look like a big man. Everybody is mad at him and looking at him like a fool. Can't you please join with us and make this stop?
Americans, are you ready for another Great Depression? 104% tariffs. Seriously? Trump is copying your worst President Hoover's failed trade war, the one that crashed global trade by 66% and directly caused the depression. Now, Trump's tariffs are even worse. Look at the global markets, all crashed. Even gold, the safe haven asset, tanked. Oh, America, if you want to attack China, you don't do that by hurting yourself as well. But you know what? China could just rally EU, Japan, ASEAN, and launch a zero-tariff bloc, a WTO 2.0 without the US. Is Trump really saving America? Tariffs are meant to bring manufacturing back to the US, but are your factories even ready? If not, you're still importing from China, just paying way more. And guess who foots the bill? You Americans do. What do you guys now feel? Tell me in the comments.
Okay, I'm not a mathematical genius. I can admit that shit. But I do know that 50 plus 34 is over 80%. Trump wants to put 80% tariffs on everything that comes in from China. We are about to be broke. Everything comes from China in America, okay? China don't need us. I'm going to say that again. China doesn't need us. We need China. Our medical devices come from there. Our food comes from there. Our metals come from there. Cars come from there. God damn it. Your iPhone comes from China. Hey, God damn it. I can't do it. Your wigs, bitch. Your wigs come from China. Okay? Your nails. All Shein and Temu is about to look like Louis Vuitton and Gucci, bitch. We ain't gonna afford shit. 80-something fucking tariffs, 80%, because they put 34% on us. He wants to add a retaliatory 50% on. China is about to laugh in our fucking faces. And I get you, they're going to counter. You know what? I'm going to say this, and I may regret it. Don't back down, China.
a.m. on April 9th, and China just responded to the United States of America, specifically saying that they are going to impose a 84% tariff in response to Trump's 104% tariff starting Thursday. So on Thursday, all U.S. imported goods are going to have an 84% tariff. And China specifically said that the Trump administration is being a bunch of bullies and that they are not going to stand for that and that they are going to protect their dignity and their sovereignty.
Y'all, this situation with China is getting treacherous and gangster, where they on some we can go ban for bans, Donald Trump on some we can go M for M's. Whole time the American people about to be, we can take L's for L's because we ain't gonna be getting any deliveries. TikTok about to be gone. I mean, China does not need us. I don't know if this man recognizes that. They like to develop. They like to build. They don't need us for real. They don't even like our food. We're the ones that are a little bit more dependent. Come on, like, make him stop. My stock and everything, my 401A is a mess right now. Please.
If American manufacturers could make real money in the US, they would have already done it already. Let's be honest. Even when they bring factories back to the United States, it's not going to be for the jobs. It's always for the capital. It's always for the gains. Everything will be automated. The bots don't need healthcare. The bots don't need lunch break. And yeah, people love blaming China, cheap labor this, unfair advantage that. But it's not just about wages. It's about infrastructures, high-speed trains, massive road networks, and dormitories for workers, and way less red tapes. China built to build. The US plays catch up while corporations chase stock price. Trump thought he can bully China into submission with tariffs. I think that's cute. The people in charge here in China right now, most are born in or before 80s. Most of us grew up with nothing. We were poor. I remember in the 80s, no toilet at home. I don't have a toilet in my family. We had to walk to a public washroom in the middle of the night. We are so used to struggle, we don't fold under pressure. We are thriving in it. This trade war is not going to hurt China the way you think. It's going to hurt US small businesses. And when they go down, big corporation going to buy them up. In the end of the day, you will be working for Jeff Bezos or Elon Musk while still blaming China. Go ahead. Tell me wrong.
America is in a global trade war because the tariffs have officially gone into effect. And I'm just thinking, why the fuck am I working for a system that's making my dollar mean nothing? Not literally nothing, but they're basically making the dollar be obsolete. Like, what is the point? Because they're not raising the wages just because of the tariffs going into effect. Like, China now has a 104% tariff on them, but then they hit us back with an 84% tariff. And everyone in the government knows, right, that the prices of everything is going to go the fuck up, right? But that's not going to change the pay that we get. That's not going to change the wages. So we're going to keep working for the system that's making our dollar mean less. Our dollar is going to get us less. And you guys aren't going to give us more because of that. You're going to allow us to have less on purpose and crash this economy. Yet we're still out here working for this system. Something is really fucking sad about that. It feels like we're brainwashed because what the actual fuck? Why are we working for the system that's literally on purpose making our dollar mean less? And they haven't raised minimum wage in fucking 16 years. And they're still not going to, even though they know now that prices are going to raise exponentially. But they're not going to pay you more. But they expect you to keep working for the system because that's what keeps the system running.
I want you guys to pay attention to the fact that they could have easily topped what Trump tariff is for them, which is at 104%. They could have easily came back and been like 110. 130, 140, but they're not doing that. And I feel like the reason that they're not doing that is because they really want people to know that the only reason they are doing this is in reaction to what he is doing. I don't truly believe that China wants to be in a trade war with the US. I do think that this is very forced. This beef that we're having with them via trade is very forced. And they want to make sure that the American people know that it's not our fault. It ain't my fault. That's what they saying. That's what they saying. China, if that was your message, we hear you. We hear you. What I don't think people realize is that not only did Trump put tariffs on goods coming from China, it's a list of countries on there. And some of the countries that are on there are literally countries economy is barely surviving. Like, it's literally barely surviving. And I know that he gives the reason for why he's doing all of these tariffs is to pay for the deficit that the Biden administration left behind. But this is going to cause more harm for the American people. The American people don't give a damn about no damn deficit. We don't care. We don't care. We care about having health care. We care about children's schools. We care about gas and groceries. Didn't people literally vote for him because they thought he was going to bring the price of groceries down? The only thing that man has brought down is the stock market.
You make of China's response. What does it mean for the everyday American?
I mean, this is a refusal to back down. And I also think China is sending a message to other countries that they could be an alternative to these protectionist measures from the U.S. And what does that mean for consumers? It means likely that prices are going to go up I mean, think about it. Just do the math. We just mentioned a 50% tariff on top of a 54% tariff. Businesses are not going to be able to absorb all of that. They're going to have to pass some of that on to consumers. Maybe companies can source from other countries that still have a tariff, not as big as China. But, I mean, this is really becoming a who's going to blink first situation.
You know, the president keeps saying that these tariffs are a way of bringing manufacturing back to this country. Do you see that happening?
Well, it's going to take a very long time, okay? Years, sometimes as much as 4 years. It's going to take hundreds of billions of dollars. But on these smaller island nations, for example, economists I'm talking to are saying that's not going to bring production here. You know, this is more about creating tariff revenue. Maybe a country like a Vietnam or a China, but on a smaller island nation, this is about creating government revenue.
So it's now a game of who blinks first? And both sides are dug in.
Somebody in China made a response video to the ongoing tariffs between U.S. and China. And this is how they feel about us, y'all. Look at this shit, y'all. They trying to say that's us. I'm not gonna lie, this shit look crazy, fool. That's how somebody or a lot of them feel about us on that side. Shit crazy. So they saying this how we gonna be looking working in them shops that they work in. They calling us big and lazy. Pretty much saying they don't think we're gonna be able to do it. They like, this the people y'all want to get this work done? This the people y'all want to make the clothes, Shein, Temu, make iPhones and shit? Y'all want them to look like this? Y'all work never gonna get done. That's what they saying essentially. They like, fine, you putting tariffs on us, then we're not gonna do it no more. Y'all gonna have to do it yourself. And y'all really want to rely on people that look like that? That's what I got from it. Y'all let me know how y'all feel about this down below in the comments.